Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Psychopaths. We're on episode 7, and in the last episode we have a new case that's opened up, so it's revolving around an all-girls, I guess, private school, and of course the person behind it is Makishima. So Makishima's obviously using all of these sort of people who are already sort of on the verge of doing the things that they want to do. They just need like the tools in order to do it. Makishima's supplying those tools in order for them to go through with it. And in this case, it's sort of like art and sculpture and shit like that, which is it's fucked up. But yeah, so obviously we as the audience know that Makishima's the one behind it. I'm pretty sure we are aware that Makishima was the one behind the behind Sasayama's death, which was an enforcer at the time. Kogami was an investigator, so Kogami is seeing the similarities of back then and now. So clearly he's on the right track, but Ganoza seems to be on the sort of... He seems to be of the mind that Kogami might be losing it a bit here, and might be getting a bit too emotionally involved. I mean, understandable, I guess, because Kogami, like, that was the reason why Kogami lost his investigator sort of status and went to an enforcer, because of his crime coefficient level went up. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. We're just going to continue on with this little arc. I've noticed that basically, because I record 2 episodes like on the day, it's sort of like ending halfway through and like the couple episode arcs and whatnot. For example, like the VR arc, like with the 2 episodes that it was in, it started on episode 4 and finished on episode 5. However, I finished like on episode 4 on one day or whatever. It's basically, the arcs are on odd numbers and not on even numbers, so it's basically fucking up with the pattern a bit, but it's alright. It is what it is. But yeah, there's nothing else to really talk about, so we're just going to get in episode 7 and see what we get, so let's go.
娘さんがお見舞いに来てくださったわよ。よかったですね。ごめんなさいね。お父さんもちゃんと分かってて喜んでくださってますから。
何も気づかず、何も語らず、そして何も考えない。ただの抜け殻のように生きて、やがて雪が溶けるように消えていく。罪なき人々を死に至らしめる伝染病。こ
れって
今回の捜査から外れてもらうぞ、鴻上。なんでだ、ギノ。余計な先入観にとらわれた刑事を初動捜査に加えるわけにはいかない。どうやら事情は知っている様子だし、鴻上が妙なことをしでかさないようつきっきりで監視しろ。渋谷区代官山の公園で発見されたバラバラ死体は葛原さつき。
おい、大総学園って
標本事件の容疑者東間幸三郎の勤務先でしたよね。
It's the same place, okay.
確かに同一犯の可能性は高い。
謎の殺人鬼が3年ぶりにカムバックってわけか。
やりすぎですよ。鴻上さん、スパーリング最高レベルに設定してあるじゃないですか。本当に人間ですか、鴻上さん。
ああ、それでもパラライザーで撃たれれば気絶するただのやわな人間だ。
So just taking out his bod?
俺の顔になんかついてるのか。
いや、別に。
She was definitely not looking at your face, mate.
ここまで過剰な戦闘訓練が必要なんですか？
必要だ。強くて優れた武器を扱うからこそ、その使い手はより強くタフでなきゃいけない。相手を殺すのはドミネーターじゃなくこの俺だと。
未解決事件、公安局広域重要指定事件102について、こっそり覗き見するみたいに調べたのは謝ります。
怒らないさ。俺が怒るとすれば、その対象は自分自身以外ありえない。
He's very level-headed,
あ
isn't
の
he?
事件、東間幸三郎の背後で糸を引いていた黒幕に俺はかすることすらできなかった。 うまい口実を見つけて俺たちが戻らざるを得ない状況を作り出せばいい。
そんな方法が
あるさ。まあ見てろ。
笹山執行官ってどんな人だったんですか？
クソ野郎だった。
は？
女好きでね、短気だった。一度火がつくと手がつけられなくてな。ある時色相チェックに引っかかった容疑者宅に踏み込むと、まさにさらった女性にのしかかってるところだった。笹山はその男を危うく殺しかけた。女好きで凶暴で実に楽しいクソ野郎だと。少なくともあんな死に方をするような男じゃなかった。死体はホログラフイルミネーションの裏側に配置されていた。安全なストレスケア、苦しみのない世界へ。笹山は標本化される前、生きたまま解体されたことが分析で判明した。犯人のメッセージみたいだったよ。
後悔はありませんか？
自分の行動に後悔はない。問題は未解決なこと。この一点に尽きる。笹山が撮った写真がある。ひどくピンボケだがな。画像ファイルのタイトルは牧島だった。
ヨシカちゃんが昨日から欠席してる
らしいね。
ねえ、ちょっと真面目に聞いてよ。
聞いてるよ。大久保さんだけじゃない。B 組の山口正美も欠席が続いてるってさ。良くないことには最初から近づかない。噂話もしない。
何それ。
迂闊に動くと本当に危ない気がする。
Just seems really odd.
ヨシカちゃん、私たちの幼馴染じゃない。
こうも案外まんざらでもなかった様子だし、聞いてみたら何か知ってるかもよ。
Hello everybody, just a reminder that if you go into the link in the description to my Patreon and get the early access tier for $5 a month, you can get access to 4 Psychopaths videos every single week, as opposed to the 2 episodes that you normally get, and also you get them a week earlier. So, if you're clamoring for more reactions from me from Psychopaths, that is where you need to go. Again, it's in the description below, Patreon, and the early access tier for $5 a month. On with the video.
父が好きだったキルケゴールの言葉よ。人間は動物より勝っているからこそ、絶望を知らなければ希望もない。父の絵の題材にバラバラの人体が多いのは自己に抱えた矛盾の象徴なのよ。この務めを途中で放棄してしまったことがことさらに許せないの。昨日ね、父が亡くなったの。父の務めは娘の私があなたたちと一緒に果たしていくのよ。素敵だと思わない？ドキドキするよね。ヨシカさん。
かねてより適度のストレスは免疫活動を活性化させるなど好ましい効果もあるとされてきた。いわゆる人生の張り合い。ところがサイコパス診断が向上化してしまった結果、ストレスの感覚が麻痺しすぎて刺激そのものを認識できなくなる患者が出てきた。
人は自らをいたわるあまり生物としてはむしろ退化してしまったわけか。
統計上の平均寿命はむしろ短くなる傾向にあるんですよ。まあ決して公にはならないデータでしょうが、九段の横領理香子の父親もね、まさにそのユーストレス欠乏症患者だったんです。横領老一、ある時期一世を風靡したイラストレーターです。少女の肉体をモチーフに残虐で生々しい悪夢を描き出す天才でした。ところが本人は至って生真面目なモラリストでね。まあ作品のイメージと制作者の実態が乖離しているのは珍しくもない話ですが、人間は心の暗部、内に秘めた残虐性を正しく自覚することで、それを律する良識と理性、善意を培うことができると。しかしサイコパス判定の普及が彼の辞任する役目を終わらせた。人は自らを律するまでもなく、機械による計測で心の健康を保てるようになった。自らの使命が完了し、その人生は無価値なものになったわけですが。
驚きだな。芸術家などというのは総じて俗物だと思っていたが、
まあ早速先端技術である各種のストレスケアを活用した。その依存ぶりは端的と言っていいほどだったと。 娘の理香子は語ってます。
その結果ベッドから起き上がることもない生きた死体になり果てたと。
横領老一は2度殺されたようなものです。まずは科学技術によって才能を殺され、そして社会によって魂を殺された。願わくばさらに向こう側の意義を見出してほしいものですが。
ジェイクソン。
お
お早いお出ましで。
それにしても牧島先生はどうして学園内にこんな場所があるなんて知っていたのかしら。
もともとはリサイクルボイラーの発電室だったのが改装で閉鎖された時図面からも抜け落ちたみたいで、ずさんなもんです。別に俺の専門は荷運びじゃないんですがね。今回は手当も弾んでもらえてますし、こんな可愛いお嬢さんのお手伝いってんなら
あなたたちがおもちゃを用意し、それを使って私たちのようないたずらっ子が世の中を騒がせる。そろそろ2つ目のいたずらが見つかる頃合いじゃないかしら。ニュースに注目しとくといいわ。
そうさせてもらいましょう。
あなたいつも一番楽しい場面には付き合わずに帰っちゃうのね。もったいないわ。
あいにく血生臭いのは苦手なもんでね。
You can do that? What?
それで私に相談事って何かしら、河原崎鏡さん。
よしかちゃんの女もう3日続けて欠席してて、
心配なのね。河原崎さんは友達思いね。女の子同士の友情って素敵ね。ヨシカさんを展示するにあたってそういう思考もいいわよね。
Come on.
この感動をもっともっと大勢の目につくところで再現したいって、そう思ってしまうのがやはり表現者の業かしらね。
Okay, episode 7. What? The hologram can change people's face and stuff. I mean, well, I guess so. Where does the technology sort of like, how does it like, how does it get to that point? Like, do they just scan in? Well, I guess everybody's face is like scanned into like the system, I guess, so that they could probably just change themselves to whoever they want to be. I mean, surely that's illegal. That can't be like something like that. Can't be. That's nuts. That's like an. That's like next level fraud type shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really a big issue now as it once was, but when like when Facebook and stuff like was just like blowing up and whatever, right? And people were like, "Oh, but what if they use like what if they use our faces for like, you know, for like fake ID and stuff like that and shit?" It's like, this is like that's next level shit. That's ridiculous. It doesn't explain like how he sounds like a girl though. No, that's because his voice like changed entirely as well. So But yeah, it's quite clear that her problem lies within the like the system, which, you know what I mean, I thought it would. You know, generally when I'm talking about Makishima or whatever, his sort of, he seems to, you know, hate the idea of the system and whatnot as well. And she goes so far as to call it like an epidemic, like it's just completely, you know, it might as well be an epidemic because it's affecting people on a global level. So, you know, it's interesting to see where she's got this sort of this mentality from, because of her dad, how he was making art that was incredibly like graphic, you know, but it's creative, it's art, and it's nothing more than that. And I think this is where Rikako actually doesn't, this is where she completely gets it wrong. Whereas her dad can, like, you know, well, they were talking about like, oh, he's like a saint because he's not, you know what I mean, he knows the difference between something that's real and something that isn't, you know. What he was doing was an illustration of the you know, what humans are capable of, and the fact that every human has these thoughts that, you know, like everyone has the capability to do bad things, you know what I mean, or think of like horrific things, but the difference is those who act on it and those who don't. Just because you think of these things doesn't mean you're a bad person, you know what I mean. Everybody's capable of it, and I think that's where obviously Rikako has completely gone wrong and completely misunderstood anything. Her mind's completely fucked at this point. She didn't take note of actually what her dad was doing, and actually thought that you know, because it was the system that fucked him over in the end, you know what I mean, because he could not do that kind of stuff anymore. So I'm imagining that the government itself, along with implementing this system that's all based around mental health and whatever, that they've gotten rid of anything considered violent. So like for example, I wrote down like, it's the same thinking as sort of like violent video games and stuff, and like the impact that that has on people. You know, I think what, on a sort of an interesting note I think to bring up is the fact that I think what Rikako's father was actually doing with his art was, you know, that kind of, maybe not consciously, but like maybe like subliminally getting that rage out. And I think, you know, that's one of the arguments against the whole violent video games causes, you know what I mean, because like, you know what I mean, anybody with a brain knows that that's sort of bullshit. The amount of, you know, the percentage of the people in this world that have, you know, that play that stuff, that watch those stuff is incredible, and not everybody is a fucking mass murderer. That kind of stuff can ease stress, you know, and whatnot, and sort of like, you know, you get the rage out by doing that kind of thing. And I think in this world they must have banned it. That's the feeling that I get, because obviously he couldn't do his kind of art anymore. And also he was for it, wasn't he? He was for the whole like implementing the system and whatnot. I'm not sure if he was for them banning that kind of stuff. I did kind of miss like how he became That he basically became like empty. And I'm wondering if it's because of maybe the idea that he was making this kind of stuff put his crime coefficient level up, and so he was like maybe like paralyzed or something, and maybe it fucked him up in the head, and he was never right after that. Because I could see that being the case, and maybe that's why Rikako's so against the system, and that's why she's like that. Like that's why she's totally fucked up for not for that. But yeah. Kagami's been taken off the case because, you know, Ginoza thinks that, you know, he's too emotionally invested, or he has some kind of preconception like this is the same shit that went on with Sasayama and whatever. And obviously told Akane to you know, keep an eye on him so he doesn't, you know, do anything stupid or whatever like that. But of course, Akane is so invested in what Kogami's doing that she would just, you know, I feel like them two are going to just go off and do their own thing. It's getting fucking bright in here. 2 seconds. Oh god. They would go off and like do their own like private investigation thing over the course of these episodes. I feel like I could see that happening. But yeah, it was the same school that was involved in the specimen case and whatever, which is interesting because I was like, well, there was the teacher, right, that was sort of not convicted, but that was the person they basically chose to be the guy. It's like, right, there must be this person because as soon as he was out of the picture and gone, everything stopped. So it must have been him. And I wrote down, was he used as a scapegoat? But then I'm wondering, maybe not. Now it was 3 years ago, so depending on how many years this school runs for, like, you know, because I mean my high school that I went to ran from year 9 to 11, unless you wanted to go into sixth form and do like extra year, but you know, that's 3 years. But you know, it depends on how long it's been going on for. If she started this back then, I mean, it depends on how long her father's been like at this point. I figure the father must have been, he must have been like this like quite a while now, because the system's been up for quite a number of years, more than 3 years ago. All right, I feel like so. Maybe it was Rikako doing all of that stuff beforehand. Although it was a lot less like. It definitely wasn't artistic. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't done for creative purposes like it is now. The one with Sasayama and whatnot was like visual, like shock value shit, like you know, like a hardcore visual. It wasn't done for like the creative purposes like she's doing it, you know? So I'm gonna say that it wasn't her 3 years ago. So it could have been the teacher. I was just wondering if maybe they killed off the teacher and then sort of stopped doing it so they could, like, you know, gain some distance between them and the Public Safety Bureau, so they wouldn't, you know what I mean, they wouldn't catch up with them and figure out who it was. And just killed off the teacher and then stopped doing it so that he could basically be used as a scapegoat. But I don't know. I mean, the teacher still could have been used as a scapegoat by Makishima. Like, Makishima just could have killed him off and then stopped it, and then, yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah. They probably have said this in past episodes, I just haven't picked it up. There must be a main coefficient, like a... You know how, obviously, they've got, like, the crime coefficient thing, the numbers go up and they can go down as well? Because, obviously, we had that whole thing of, Oh, does it? Actually, wait a minute, does it go down? I'm not sure it does. Because I was thinking back to episode 1 with the woman who was like being tortured by that guy, and she went up to like, because she was like so stressed at the whole situation, she went up levels, right? And I think she eventually did. She got so stressed that she got the lethal. But didn't it go down to back down to the paralyzed, like the non-lethal? I think it did. Well, if it did, so like that basically that number can go up and down. There must be a main something that stays static. Like everybody must have a baseline of where they are on the scale, like of how, you know, they must have like a baseline sort of how like capable they are of going maybe, you know, a bit overboard or a bit more crazy than other people. They're maybe a bit more capable of doing that. Because otherwise the whole Enforcer thing with Kogami doesn't make sense, or any of the Enforcers really. Shusei as well, like especially him, because the only reason why he's put into that position is because he has a sort of, because it like he was set at a baseline where, you know, he's according to them he's not entirely like all there, like he's a bit too manic, I guess. So there must be a baseline thing, and I guess that must have shifted in Kogami to a higher point, to the point where he can't go back into invest. Because if it was a like if it was something that was able to be moved, this like then surely Kogami would be able to go back into investigation or whatever the fuck, you know. I guess since, you know, Kogami kind of went out of the, when he started like not listening to orders, I guess, or, you know, he got a bit too emotionally invested that like they were like, okay, well, you know, if you're capable of doing that, then you're not right for the job, kind of thing. You need to be, you know, you need to keep a level head at all times. Yeah. I like the talk with Makishima with the idea that, you know, this cements my idea that Makishima obviously is like his big problem with is society and the way that it's run. I like it when a villain has, or a bad guy has a, you know, an ideology that is reasonable, like that is logical and entirely, you know what I mean, because especially one as obvious as this, because when we as the viewer are looking at it, we see the problems with the system as well, you know what I mean. Like it's clearly like a bad system, like it's fucked, it's not good at all. And he's exactly the same. The difference is that he's chosen to fight it in the way that he seems possible, and the reason why he's a bad guy is because he has no he's fine with hurting and affecting other people's lives in order to get that point across. And for him, I guarantee what he thinks is that he's not, like, he's doing it for the greater good. Like, I guarantee that's what he thinks. I guarantee that he doesn't see himself as doing bad here, you know. I guarantee he sees it as, you know what I mean, these are sacrifices that must be made in order to get the point across to everybody that the system is wrong, and you know what I mean, because I think he probably thinks that the everyday person has just fell into this sort of this routine of accepting this sort of system, and I think, you know what I mean, because of that he doesn't share a lot of empathy or sympathy with them, and therefore he's fine using these people to kill them off and shit. Now the question is how is he, what's, I mean, I know what his end goal is. I'm wondering how he gets there. I'm wondering if he's trying to lift everybody's sort of baseline like psyche level up, because if that's the case, then that means everyone must die, and they can't do that, right? Like, if everybody's psyche level moved up, they can't get everybody, right? Because that's ridiculous. So he might be doing that. I found that interesting with the whole, like, with the plastination thing that he was doing, and the fact that he put it in plain sight. Almost like, and I can't remember who was saying it, but they said that the area around there, like the stress level rose, and I wonder if that's what he's trying to do, if he's trying to raise everybody's stress level, because I think it would be, you know, they can't go after everybody, you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if he's doing that. I mean, either way, it's very, it's nice to have a villain that's so, like, that's kind of like that has that sort of ideology. I really enjoyed, like, the talk he had where he's talking about, like, moderate stress is actually good for us because it sort of activates our immune system, and it'll be like, it's the same way that, you know, like, physically, when you're doing, you know, things in the gym, exercise or whatever, your body sort of, like, breaks down and then repairs itself to become stronger, right? And it's the same thing. If you allow yourself to like suffer the effects of like whatever it is, and allow your body to be affected by it, then you become more tolerant to it, you know? So it's the same sort of thing. That said that obviously the average lifespan's actually decreasing because, you know, because of the fact that we're not allowing our bodies to be able to like withstand that sort of thing, and the fact that, you know what I mean, like, actual moderate stress allows us to, you know what I mean, our body to become stronger and last longer because of that. There's a whole thing like I could go into about, like, how, like, I think that, like, society today is sort of weak-willed, and I think, like, if we continue on down this path, then we'll probably get to a point where the average lifespan will probably end up decreasing, because I feel like we're too comfortable, you know, and we're getting to the point where, you know, because every invention that we've ever made has been for more convenience to us, right? It's always about making things more convenient. There's got to get to a point where where, you know, as humans we are way too comfortable, and that's not a good thing, you know. But yeah, it's interesting. So Makishima is obviously one. This is the thing with Makishima. I think, you know what I mean, he's not just doing it for himself or his own beliefs either. He wants everyone to have, like, he wants other people to find meaning in it. So yeah. So the guy who's got, like, the red and yellow eye things, like, going on, he's called Choi Gu-sung or whatever the fuck. That sounds like a Chinese name to me. That's the only thing I know about him. I don't know what he does. I don't know why he's got those fucking, like, weird as fuck eyes and whatever. I don't know what the deal is with all that shit, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get more answers to that soon. But that is all I've got for episode 7. So in the description below, I have a bunch of links to certain places. One of them is the Discord. I urge everyone to go over there, especially if you want me to react to a certain show, because that is where polls and things start. Also, if you just want to come over there, talk to me in the community, get involved in some activities and shit like that, you can do that as well. My PO box address is in the description below, so if you do want to send me anything at all, you can do with that address there. I'll open up whatever you send to me on the video. It'll be a nice little addition. And finally, my Patreon. So you get a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. The most popular ones, obviously, early access. That's $5 a month. For that, you get access to all the Patreon shows a week early, and you actually get 2 episodes across all of them, all of the different shows, like an extra 2 episodes, rather than what the general public gets. So you get 4 episodes of Psycho Pass every week, 4 episodes of Suzumiya Haruhi every week, 4 episodes of Tokyo Ghoul every week, and 4 episodes of Code Geass every single week. That's 16 episodes across the entire week. It's 64 across the whole month, as opposed to 32 that the general public get. So if you're coming for more reactions from me more frequently, that's where you want to go. $10, that is the full length, so if you want to see my full unedited reactions to all the shows that I do, then yeah, that's where you want to go. It's obviously includes all the shows I just mentioned, plus Attack on Titan, My Hero, ReZero, all of them get full length. So yeah, that's that. Exclusive tier, that's $15 a month. That gives you access to another show I'm currently reacting to, which is Parasite. All OVAs from all shows go into the exclusive as well. And also when I start reacting to movies and things, those will be going to exclusive as well. So there's that. $50 a month, that is the elite tier, so that'll give you a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It'll go to the back of the queue, and then I will get round to it eventually. I think there's about 7 shows in there, so it might take a while to get round to it, but you will get it reacted to eventually. However, if you want to jump the queue, then you want to get God tier, which is $100 a month, and that gives you, you know, like a choice of a show, and it will, you know, be reacted to next. The only rules on those last 2 tiers of that, it must be a show that is 150 episodes or less, and it must be a show that I have never seen before. Also, on those last 2 tiers, it's a cumulative, so on my Patreon, it's a pay a monthly basis. So if you pay like $100 to get, like, you know, a choice of a show, and then second month comes along, you pay $100 again, you get another choice, and then third month, third choice, fourth month, fourth choice, so on and so forth. But that is all, so thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.